Hi there, this is Jacob Nash, Precalculus Lessons, and this is Unit 1, Lesson 9 on average rate of change. As you can see, I'm back onto these kinds of videos because, as it turns out, it was just a storage issue, and definitely it is better for me to make videos this way. I think. Because it takes way longer, my handwriting's way messier on computer. So, average rate of change, you've probably heard it before, and you've done that in Algebra 1 and 2. But let's review what it is and how we can find it. You can find it by changing y over changing x, delta y over delta x. And when there's something that's changing, the second thing comes first. So it's y1 divided by, y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. And 1 and 2 just mean the first coordinate and second coordinate of the points that you find. And it's the same thing as slope, but the reason why we put it into this form is because sometimes you can't find it as easily when it's a curved graph. If you want to find a y value, just plug in whatever x value you have for x. And you can draw a secant line, which means there's 2 points touching a curve if a graph is curved. So basically there's something called tangent. As we know, TAN is on our calculator. And tangent, it touches at 1 point. So whatever line you made touches at 1 point, but secant line, it touches at 2 points, and you're trying to get a rough idea of where the graph goes. So let's find average rate of change. For this one, now what you might know is this is a line. So for a line, what we can do is we just find 2 different points. Alright, we've found these points, and then we see how much it goes up, 2, and then 1. Since it is rise over run, or y over x, changing y over changing x, it is 2 over 1, which is 2. So the average rate of change is 2 for this graph. Now, if we're using the formula that we know, how do we get that? Well, let's see. The 2 points that we have is 0, 0, and 1, 2. Our first x value is 0. Second x value is 1. First y value is 0. Second y value is 2. 2 minus 0, 2. Divided by 1 minus 0, 1. So that's how you can do it like that. But either way, that's how you find that rate of change. Oh, this time it's a little bit different. Because this is not a straight line, we only can find a rate of change at an interval, for now at least. And what this x and e looking thing means, that means, really the e looks kind of like this. I don't know what you would call that, but, sorry, I have a phone call here. I will have to call them back. So, anyways, we're looking at from -9, which is right here, to -4. What is our rate of change? So, we need to draw a secant line, and this is what line we can draw. So this is just like pretending that there's a line here. And just to make things a little bit simpler, let's just use this point here and this point here. Pretend like the graph went through those 2 points. So, from the interval -9 to -4, what is the rate of change? So, we need to do our formula y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So, our 2 points are -9, 6, and -4, 4. So, our x values are -9 and 4, or -4. And our y values are 6 and 4. 4 minus 6 is -2. -4 minus -9, which really means plus, is 5. So the average rate of change is -2/5. And doesn't that make sense? Because the graph is going in a negative direction. This time we have a equation, but that's fine. We can still do the same thing. And this is our interval this time. So here we can use the same equation that we use, y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. And our x values we already know are one of our x and y values that we know, I'm sorry, this isn't a point. This is an interval. So we know both the x values. Sorry about that. First one is -9, second one is 2. But what we need to do to find the y values is plug in these x values into this equation. So we have 3 times -9 squared minus 34. So let's see what that is. I got pulling up my calculator, so that would be 81 times 3. That is 243 minus 34, 209. Okay, so we're getting kind of strange numbers. That's just for this problem. That's just what it happens to be. So 209. For the other one, we're not going to get nearly as big of a number. But we have 2 squared. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 minus 34 is -22. So we have -22. So -22 minus 209 is -231. 2 minus -9 really means plus, so 11. I highly doubt you can divide 231 by 11 and get an even number. Oh, I highly doubted wrong. It happens to be 21. I just made up these numbers by random, but somehow we ended up with a whole number, even though we had 209 as one of the things. Okay, well, I highly doubted wrong. 11 is not a number that most numbers can divide by evenly, but it happened to be that 231 did. So that is how you find average rate of change. This is pretty much a review, so hopefully that makes sense. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.